Mason, you ready? Fight!
All right, I'm already getting text messages for people that want an opportunity at that tag team glory. Everybody that I know who's locked up with Mason Fowler, I always grab him after. I say, hey, what surprised you about him? Just in private, just kind of in passing as we all say our goodbyes. They have all said the same thing, which is how strong he is. Vinny even told me, say, hey, I knew he was strong. But I didn't know he was that strong. He's deceptive. And when you see Fowler in there with like a Ryan Bader type by example, we go, okay, this one's real obvious. I know who the monster in the room is, but he can protect himself, and then you see the flexibility. It's very rare. Britt Primus can do it. Mason Fowler can do it, which is to be the strongest guy and the most flexible. And so many people early on thought that Fowler was all about strategy. Fowler did not like those comments. And he has really shown us he's also about technique. Right when you think you've got the answers, Fowler is changing the questions. Kyle Chambers is now having to deal with this. Look, there's a ball. And these competitions are a dance. One person, oh, up and down. Down hard. Largely even on Mason himself. Look at how Mason's bringing that knee inside. This is where the technique comes in. This is where the big brute in Mason, you also see he is a technician. Look how he passes there. I believe Kyle is more flexible than Mason, but I don't know that there's a separation. And other people that Kyle Chambers has taken on, his flexibility alone has caused them problems. I don't know that there's a separation. Okay, now this is the finish. No, he lost it. That was the same finish. Mason Fowler had an arm lock here, much like we saw Maximov do earlier tonight. He had that finish against Boogie a couple of title defenses ago. He was looking for that with Chambers, but Chambers did his homework. I tell people ask me, do you really think that Mason is the best? I will share with you and I will remind you, we don't know how good Mason is. We just know he's the champ. We used to believe it was on brute force and strength. We then saw his guard work, and we saw some of his submission attacks. We then saw that he was insulted by people thinking that he wanted to go to overtime, and he made sure to get out of there within regulation. He seems to do anything he sets his mind to, which is why I come to the conclusion, we don't know how good he is. We know he is good enough to show us what he chooses to show us. I maintain he has not shown it all. Passing guard on Kyle Chambers would take about 5 to 6 years of dedicated training to have the skills to be able to do that. Mason has blown past the guard twice. Oh, by the way, should I mention, in 3 minutes. I do need to check a text because it is from my coach Fabiano. Mike Perez wants a spot. How about Varela? Mason Fowler's taking the back here. Oh, look at this. Is Mason Fowler's patented position. Now you'll see this in overtime should we get here, but when Mason Fowler puts on a body triangle, and I'll remind you of the night he gave big problems to Craig Jones and shocked the grappling world, but it was because of this triangle. Now, even in an overtime atmosphere, opponents have a very hard time getting themselves free. In a regulation period, I would imagine, unless Mason chooses to let this go, we're going to be riding it out from here. Now, if we get to overtime, it's all a wash. All of this is for naught. But for conversation's sake amongst friends, Mason has shown a real skill discrepancy between himself and the field. Mason Fowler, still. Let's go! Submission underground champion. I'm going to be talking